Welcome back. Former U.S. President Donald Trump will be booked in a Manhattan criminal court today, an unprecedented moment in American history. Joining us live now to set the scene from New York City is CNN's Gloria Pazmino. Gloria, good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'll get right into it. It's still dark out there, but we know that preparations for today's proceedings are well underway. What can you tell us about what's happening outside of the courtroom this morning?
Tammie, good morning. It is going to be a very well choreographed event here this afternoon. Trump spent the night at Trump Tower here in his Manhattan residence last night. We expect him to be whisked here to the downtown area by his security detail, the Secret Service, and then he will appear before that judge shortly after 2 o'clock in the afternoon to face that criminal indictment. As you said, a moment never before seen here in the history of the United States. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that because of the historic nature of this event, several media outlets, including ours, had petitioned the court to be allowed to come in there with our cameras so we could watch the proceeding and show it to the rest of the world. The judge denied that request last night, so we are not going to get a live picture of this arraignment, but we will get images. The judge making a ruling last night that he would allow 5 still photographers to enter the court before the proceeding gets underway. So we will get to see this moment. Another thing that we are going to see is the hallway directly outside of this courtroom of the 15th floor of the building that you see behind me, Manhattan Criminal Court. This is a long hallway. In fact, it's the same hallway, similar hallway that Steve Bannon walked down on when he was on trial here in New York City. That hallway will be lined with cameras, and we do expect to see that image of the former president showing up here to face these criminal accusations.
Okay, so we'll have the cameras in the hallway, cameras outside of the courtroom as well. And we know that there is an expectation that there could be protesters both for and against Trump. What can you tell us about the preparations for them?
Well, the city of New York is certainly prepared for the possibility. We heard from Mayor Eric Adams yesterday, who said that there are no current threats to the city of New York that are known at this time. And what we have seen so far in terms of intelligence and information gathering is that social media posts and activity on the internet, similar to what we saw leading up to January 6th, is not present in this instance. So security officials have said that they are not concerned about similar events taking place, but there is the possibility that there may be some demonstrations either in support or in opposition. The New York Police Department, certainly a force that is very used to dealing with that kind of thing. There are thousands of police officers at the ready. We are not far from a police headquarters here in New York City, but this is certainly something this police department is used to dealing with, and security is heavy here in Lower Manhattan. There's barricades set up all around the perimeter of the courthouse, and some of the streets have now been closed to traffic. So certainly a big law enforcement presence down here.
And there was a big media presence as well when Trump landed in New York yesterday afternoon. Can you tell us about how that all went down? Because we could see the live images coming in at pretty much every step the moment that he left Florida right up until he got to Trump Tower.
Yeah, well, listen, Tammie, it is a historic moment here in the United States. And as you said, the former president's movements have been followed step by step from the moment he left his Florida State Mar-a-Lago yesterday, when he was driven to the airport in Palm Beach, Florida, and when he touched down here in LaGuardia. We have been following his every move. The world's media has descended here in Lower Manhattan to witness this moment, to cover this moment, and to bring information to the public. It is certainly, part of what people want to come down here to see. There's a lot of media, a lot of cameras, a lot of people. But this is something that we are somewhat used to here in New York City, especially when there is a very notorious or famous person that may be going through a criminal or legal proceeding here. But of course, we have the one big difference in this instance, that we have the former president of the United States, a current candidate for the White House. And you know, Trump, very much a product of New York City. This is the place where he made his name, his fortune, he made his career. And even though he hasn't lived here for several years now, it's still a place that he now has to come back to face these accusations.
All right, and we will all be watching very closely. Gloria, thank you so much for that. That is Gloria Pazmino live from outside of the Manhattan courtroom. We'll see Donald Trump appearing there later today.